All right, 6:45 here on your Friday morning. Tell people what they can expect if they head out the door this morning.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a mixed bag, unfortunately. It's all going to come down to location as we're seeing a very sharp temperature cutoff across the area of who's above freezing and who's below this morning. And right now in Lexington, we're starting to see some of that light wintry precipitation starting to fall. We're looking down Main Street from our WeatherBug camera atop the 21C Museum Hotel. And as you can see with the traffic lights, a little bit of a glare starting to pop up as the streets are starting to get wet. Temperatures here still below the freezing mark, so some slick spots very easily could develop as we're going through these early morning hours as you're setting out for your Friday morning commute. Now on the MaxTrack Live Doppler, for the most part, it's just some flurry activity that we've been picking up on. But across southern Kentucky, especially now starting to push closer to I-75 to the south of I-64, temperatures there again are above the freezing mark, so a little bit of light freezing rain. Even some cold rain is starting to mix in as well, which could just aggravate some of the slick conditions that we will be seeing developing over the next couple of hours. What we're dealing with this morning is a Clipper system, and these storm systems move in and out in a hurry. Already snow is exiting central Indiana, continuing to push through Ohio and Pennsylvania on the northern side. We're on the southern stream of this right now as we're seeing more scattered wintry activity, and as you begin to progress closer to the Tennessee state line, temperatures there are mild enough that it's just a rain event starting off this morning, and eventually we'll begin to see a little bit more of that rain mixing in, especially for our southern counties as the morning goes on. Everybody, pretty much everybody I should say, in the LEX 18 viewing area under a winter weather advisory until 11 o'clock this morning. Not going to be a big impact in terms of the amount of wintry precipitation, but instead is the concern for some slick spots that'll be developing throughout the morning, especially given the fact of how cold it's been, and those road surfaces, especially bridges and overpasses, could very easily lead to some of those slippery conditions. Now on Future Track, you will notice that we're going to keep it snow across northern Kentucky. Temperatures there not expected to climb above freezing until this afternoon. But here in the bluegrass, we may be in a little bit of a transition zone, especially towards mid-morning, as we could be seeing some freezing rain mixing in, even that cold rain. But overall, it's just going to be some scattered activity into the early afternoon. Things quickly taper off. Conditions will be improving. Skies, though, will stay cloudy as temperatures finally warm above the freezing mark this afternoon. As I mentioned, not expecting a whole lot of wintry precipitation. Most of us could see up to a ½ inch of snow. Otherwise, across northern Kentucky, your totals may be a little bit closer to an inch by this afternoon. Temperature-wise, we're still in the upper 20s here in Lexington, but just head down to Richmond, even also Danville, and temperatures are running in the mid-30s at this hour. And by this afternoon, we will finally climb above the freezing mark, ending our streak, which right now is at 79 hours and counting since the last time we saw a temperature above the freezing mark. That was at 11:30 on Monday. And over the weekend, temperatures really take off as we'll continue to track highs in the 50s, even the lower 60s through the middle of next week. So certainly some weather whiplash coming our way starting this weekend. Now on tap this morning, again, still some rain and snow showers will be possible into the afternoon. It's cloudy and not as cold with a high of 36. We'll eventually be dropping the threat index back to a 0. This weekend, we're dry for the first time in like 3 weekends as we'll see high temperatures in the 50s. Skies, though, we'll stay mostly cloudy. We'll introduce a few showers late in the day on Monday. That's the warmest day of your 8-day storm tracker forecast, and we'll continue to hold on to the unseasonably mild temperatures and also the rain through the middle of next week. We'll have more LEX 18 news at sunrise after this.